your knees. You might want to take your towel underneath your knees and then lift your arms into the air. You're looking for alignment, fingers, shoulder, hip. Once you've got that, you might like to just play with this. Squeeze your bum, open your arms and look up. Good. Bring both hands to the floor so you're on all fours and lift the front hand nearest me, feed it underneath you. And then energize your body by pushing up, neutral, squeeze the bum and look up, and then bring the hands down onto all fours, and the other hand feeds through. That's it, thread the needle. Push through the hands, lift to the sky, neutral, or maybe a little bit further depending on how flexible you feel, opening up the front of the body, but also opening up the middle of the spine, the tight bit of your upper back. So you keep going, you push up, neutral or further, and then hands and knees on the floor, and the hand goes under. So it takes a little while to get used to the flow, the rhythm, but when you do, just let yourself move at your natural pace. So constant movement, but slow, constant movement. Hands come down, arm feeds under, that's it. We'll do one more of these. So this is our level 1. Adapt it in a way that works for you. You don't have to go too deep with the movement. You don't have to open up too high. You work on a level that works for you because we're going to make it more intense. This is the hip work I was telling you about. So on your knees, or slide the nearest leg towards me so your big toe lines up with your other knee. And we do exactly the same thing, but we're only going to do it on one side. I'll show you what I mean. Neutral and then higher. Hands onto the floor. The back hand feeds through towards your big toe. And if you can, play with your bum. See if you can bring your bum back. Push through the hands up into the sky. So we're going to do that 4 more times on this side. Press the hand through. Ooh. And then climb up. So there's a lot going on. Those with hip issues are not going to like the leg extended, so bring the knee to the floor. Some of us are going to love pushing our bum back as well as reaching towards the toes, and others are not going to be interested. Good. So work with your breath, your flow, your vibe, your energy level this morning. Up and open and fold under. So the hands are on the floor and then the back hand reaches towards that front foot. Let's do that on the other side. Let's notice, I'll face you this time, let's notice what's going on, bit of a stretch, in our body. So the opposite hand feeds through. Push your bum back, climb up, breathe in, squeeze your glutes, look up, both hands to the floor, but I'm sort of advancing it by taking my arm straight through, bum goes back, and 3 more. So what do you notice? What's the difference with this hip to the other? With this stretch in the hamstring? Look at me, I can hardly get there. Incredible. So that will be telling. Possibly our hamstring tighter on one side, hips are a bit more skewed on one side. Most of us have that. Lift and open. And just hang out at that bottom move when you get there. Because I'm determined. Oh, done it with a bit of challenge. I've got there, a bit closer. So come into the pose of a child, toes together, knees wide, and push your bottom as far back to your heels as you can. Then bring the knees in and come onto your hands and knees. A little bit of tricep work. Bend the elbows towards the floor. Push up through your hands. Bend the elbows towards the floor and push up into your hands. So normally when I do tricep work, I'm asking you to tip forward, but I'm going to add another little dimension to this. Extend your front leg, leg nearest me. Flex the foot, heel away. Now as you bend your elbows towards the floor without touching, bring the knee in. Knee to elbow. Straighten the arms, straighten the leg. Bend the knee, bend the elbows. Bend the knee, bend the elbow. So you should have a light touch in the triceps, back of the arms. So it's not feeling impossible. Let's try it on the other leg. So straight leg, straight arms. That's it. Bend the elbow towards the floor, knee towards the elbow, straight arm, straight leg. So find your posture. Look to the top of the mat, please. Look forward so you've got full length in your spine. 2 more. Elbow to knee, long body. Elbow to knee, long body. I'm going to go back to the front arm, front leg, but this time I'm going to do what I said, which is the hardest option. So you're going to tip forward and bend the knee and then push up. Can you see the difference? So what I was doing was there. Now what I'm doing is going towards my water bottle and then push up. Try 4 or 5 of those. Bend the elbows, bend the knee, exactly the same. The difference is where you're going. You're going forward rather than straight down. Breathe. Breathe. One more on this side. Recover. Work the shoulders. And then the other side. So the other leg straightens. You bend the knees and bend the knee and tip forward. 1. Bend the knee, tip forward. 2. You've all got options. 3. Well done, everyone. 2. And last one. Sit back, recover. You've done an incredible job. Rotate the wrists. Roll through your shoulders. Sit back into the pose of a child. I've got one more hip opening thing, and then it will all come beautiful and lovely, and it'll be all about the tummy and back. On your hands and knees, bring your front foot to the outside of your hands. You might need to assist the foot to get there. Good. Now press the knee back, curl the toes and lift the bum high. Knees to the floor. Other foot to the outside of your hand. Good. You might need to assist the foot. And then onto the knees and push your bum high. Knees to the floor. Foot to the outside. Push your hips forward if you want to. Knees back. Lift the knees, down facing dog. Knees on the floor, foot to the outside. So once you're comfortable with the movement, once you know what you're doing, you do it at your own pace. Okay, foot comes forward, line the big toe up, and then bum goes high. Knees to the floor, eye gaze forward, foot comes forward. I know this isn't easy. I've seen enough young chaps struggle with this because their hips are so tight. to know that this isn't an easy move. And if you're not a practice Pilates or yoga person, this is particularly tight. So you just do you and take your time. And now let's recover. We're going to lie on our tummies. I want to work the triceps again. And we're going to do it, but we're going to start off with a little easy back move. So hands by your side, roll your shoulders, lift your chest and lower. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest and lower. Roll your shoulders and lower. Roll and lower. One more. Okay, hands underneath your forehead, knees bent, heels to bum, and just move your feet. And we'll take it into a flutter kick. So just watch, because I've had all sorts of strange variations on it. I've had this. What I'm looking for is a kick. So lift your legs, straight legs, and kick. It's called a flutter kick because it's a small kick. It's not a judder. It's a little kick where you squeeze your bum and then rest. So try it with me. Both legs lift, little flutter, little kick. Yes, that's nice. Keep it going. Head resting on your towel or on your forearms and lower. Couple more, squeeze your bum. So the idea is Pilates, what you're trying to do is make sure the rest of your body is still. You're isolating the work in your glutes and legs. And recover. Good. Hands, fingers really well spread by your waist. So right down by your waist, elbows tuck in, press your hands into the floor, lift and lower your chest. Take it slow, and because I mentioned that this is triceps, obviously it's lower back as well, but for triceps you want your elbows to come in towards each other. So don't splay, tuck them in, roll the shoulders away from your ears, and only come up a little bit, not too far. Tiny move, you're pressing the hands, and feeling the back of the arms. That's terrific. Not too high, but constant and repetitive. I'm going to slide in the butterfly kicks. So lift your legs, hold your upright posture, pull your shoulder blades down and back, and kick your legs. Looking good. Recover. Roll the shoulders. Lift the chest, tuck the elbows in, flutter kicks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest, squeeze the bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want more energy. Not in the legs, but in your back. Pull your shoulder blades together, pull the shoulder blades down, tuck the elbows in. And now flutter kick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either rest on the floor, heels to bum, or come into the pose of a child. Toes together, knees wide. Good work. Incredible work. First week back after a long break. We've done lots of stretches. Lots of openings, we've made it all look easy. We're going to finish with a little bit of tummy work. So rest on your back, towel underneath your head, hands on your knees, and let the lower back recover. Now bring your feet to the floor, check that your knees are in line with your hips, press your belly button close to your spine. I'm just giggling to myself, trying to find my belly button. Raise your knee over your hip. Push your back down, raise the second knee. So I've taken you straight into a level 2. Let go of your back i.e. neutral. Move the knees so they're at least 90 degrees from your hips, and then begin a single leg moving towards the floor. You're not touching the floor, you're not giving your power away, you're keeping the power in one muscle, the deep abdominal, not your quads. You're not tightening your thighs, you're letting the legs be soft, and you're letting the back relax, and you're allowing your jaw, your shoulders to soften, and the tension, the contraction, is your deep abdominal. Good. And you're keeping the foot off the floor. It's not touching. Beautiful. You might need more height in your towel. If you feel that your jaw or shoulders are tensing up, that's quite normal. And I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of fairy dust, a little bit of Christmas dust. Let's try both legs. Again, nowhere near the floor. Use the hip as a hinge and use the legs as weights. And the weight is pulling on your tummy. It would like to pull onto your back. If your thinking is a little bit sidetracked, if you're thinking about other things, it will go to your back. But if you're focused, if you're in the zone, you'll feel it in your tummy. One more. So bring the feet down. Send the knees side to side, a good hip release. Let the breath go. Good. And then bring the feet to the floor. Your hands behind your head and your elbows on the cold floor, giving you that sensation that you're open-chested. And then raise your head and shoulders and do your sit-ups. Breathe out. Get your shoulder blades off the floor. Support your head. And think about keeping the deep abdominal as tight as you can, so that when you work your six-pack, the long lengthy muscle at the front, it is held towards the spine by the deep abdominal. It's not doming away from the spine, and it's not functioning properly if it does that. So let's add in the legs. So raise your head and shoulders, allow one foot to lower, allow the other foot to lower, keep the legs in the air, drop the head. Good. Raise the head and shoulders. Remember, keep the feet off the floor. One leg and the other leg. And lower your head. Raise the head and shoulders. One leg and the other leg. And lower. Three more. Raise the head and shoulders. One leg and the other leg. And lower. Two more. Good. Can you feel the tremor in the muscles? That gentle recognition that the muscle is working really well. I'm going to do one last one. I know I've sneaked it in. Rib cage down. Good. Oh, brilliant work. Good all over body work with particular emphasis on your hips. So take your knees side to side. So why did I focus so much on your hips? Well, if you've spent the holiday period sitting more than normal, then the hips, especially the hip flexors, can get tight, the quads get tight, the hamstrings get tight. So we've just tried to ease back into our full level of flexibility and fitness. You're less likely to injure if your muscles are open. So I'm going to send both knees to you. My feet are nice and wide apart, and I'm going to lift my front heel and place it on the other leg. And that is an extraordinary stretch all the way through the quads and hips, abdominals, and if you take your hands above your head, it will also stretch your chest. Turn your head away, then release the foot, tighten your tummy to lift the knees, let the knees drop to the other side, lift the top heel, let it rest, and be very careful here, and let the heel rest on the bottom knee. You might find that your hips click back into place. How rewarding. And let your own body weight open you up. Good work. So being aware of how you operate, what your little foibles are, what your muscle weaknesses are, is all really important to Pilates. So hands behind your knees, lift your bottom, and eventually lift your head and rock, and take a seat, and just take a moment to breathe. Notice how you feel. Lift your arms all the way up and bring that to rest in front of your chest. Thank you so much for joining me. You keep